Greetings, I'm Logan, the G.I. Joe Gamer, and tonight on this edition of G.I. Joe Midnight Madness, Joe takes 32, talking Alley Viper from the Hills. So let's start with vintage figures. Now, mine are well played with. As a young lad, I gave these guys quite the workout. Now, as you can see, he's got a different arm. That's a Zartan arm. I even broke his arm down. These little pegs actually were pretty sturdy on these figures. A lot of times the figures, those pegs would break off. But in the case of the Alley Viper, the visor actually was very thin plastic. That very thin plastic, and it would break off. And so I actually don't even have one of those visors anymore. This is not my best example of the original Alley Viper. This one is, and I put on a 93 Alley Viper's visor, I'm pretty sure. And it turned out pretty good on him, and it fits pretty good. My shield is broken, so I just kind of put his hand through it. I would actually love to get a pretty good, nice version of this Alley Viper at some point in the future. I really love that iconic Alley Viper gun. I'm going to put him over here because when I start looking at the classified figure, I'm going to I'll give a good comparison. Hello, Dave Collects. Yeah. Welcome to Joe Takes 32. I was going to say 23 backward. Yeah, Alley Viper is pretty cool. And glad you're here to share this with me. Now, in '93, they came out with a yellow Alley Viper. It was kind of weird. And like I said, they came with this black visor. Now, I never had that. My brother did. And so I ended up getting some of the remnants of that figure. But in '94, they came out with that same figure, but in an orange color. I guess they realized where they made their mistake. And this figure is actually really, really cool. I don't really like the yellow and black version. I know a lot of people like the yellow and black better than the orange, but it just reminded me of the original Alley Viper from 1989. Now, this guy, I played with those other Alley Vipers so much they're falling apart. These guys are still in really good shape because I bought them, and I pretty much at that point was getting out of the hobby for a little while, and I basically bought them and just put them away, and I have a couple. And they came with these little tree full of accessories and stuff, and a rocket launcher, but a spring-loaded rocket launcher. But I've got that somewhere else. I don't know why they came with an orange dial-tone gun. Whatever. But it did come with an orange version of this black gun. That's really cool. So, and half the time they don't stay on the battle stands very well because I don't know. This plastic was a little different, better plastic, but yeah, not ready for those older battle stands. Now the 2000s, probably Valor versus Venom era, 2004 or 5. I picked up this blue one. That's based off of this version. It's basically the same figure, just in a different color. I really like the blue. Now, they actually had several versions of this guy. And I have a modern figure that's red, and they got a Crimson classified Alley Viper out, but I don't have him yet. But I will be picking him up probably next year. And when I look at the Crimson Guard all together, I'll have the Crimson Alley Viper in that video. Now, they also came out around that same time period, Valor versus Venom, with the Alley Viper 2, which was an interesting little figure. I'm not really super fond of it, but I got a couple of them. And they didn't have visors, but they had the pegs for them. It was kind of weird. And they had these little knives that actually went into this little slot right here on the figure. I've got those, but they're so small I put them away. and I didn't get them out. I didn't want to lose them. I mean, they are super small. They slide right in there and slide right out. They don't stay. But those are my vintage. That's my troop builder version of the Alley Viper, and I don't have a super lot of them like I did with my bats. I have more than 10 bats. So that video was a little bit more of a troop builder video, but Alley Viper is definitely a troop builder figure. And I do want to get some more of the classified Alley Viper. So that takes us to the classified box. And he's number 34 in the series. And then, you have the standard back of the box at the time that he came out. This looks like they pretty much added Zartan to this and Firefly. Other than that, it was pretty much the original version of the box. Now, yeah, I agree, Dave. It is fire. And I like it too. It is a very cool figure. And I'll be pulling him up here in just a second. I like to do the box art first and then do the reveal on the figure and the classified figure last. That's really what this series, the Joe Takes, is to talk about the character and show off the classified version. If I don't have a classified version, I haven't done a Joe Take of it. I generally have a vintage figure, but not always. Now, this artwork was really cool, and it's in the thumbnail. And it's going to be the artwork that I have at the end of the video I play at the end of this. That has the file cards and a little video of my promo video that I put out earlier in the week. Now, that actually takes us to the classified figure. And this is a hulking monster. It just... If you saw a dozen of these coming at you on the street, I think that would be very intimidating. I really love the visor. Now this holds very true to the original, and it looks a lot like the original in almost every respect, right down to the shield. Now I know they changed the shield to the Cobra symbol on the 93 and 94 version, and that's pretty cool. But I'm sorry, how do you top this? This thing, man, they can use it as a weapon. That Cobra shield, they can just block stuff with it, but I can't see it really using it as a weapon. But this thing, man, this is a badass shield right here. Now on the inside of the shield is a little heads-up display, so that they can actually use the shield as for total cover and hide behind it, and still see on the other side. This rifle, this extra rifle that it came with, if I can do this without dropping anything. It would be a Joe Takes if I didn't drop something. The magazine actually comes out and pops right back in. Yeah, I thought so too, Dave. I think this is my favorite Viper, and I'm glad it was the first one I got. I have since picked up Vipers and stuff, but this was the first Viper I got in the classified series. And Alley Viper's always been my favorite Viper. And this is a badass assault weapon. And here we go, though. They also had him come with his original gun. And if you look at them kind of side by side there, they are the same weapon, just bigger. But the cool part about this classified one, and once I get it out of his hand, it's a pain in the butt to put back in because of the design of this gun. But they held true to the original. But if you take note of this thing, it has the grip on the front and it has the scope on top. But this clip right in this magazine, it comes right out. And when you're actually trying to put it on the figure, it's actually easier to put it on without the clip. But then you really have a hard time putting the clip back in the gun when it's on the figure. Now, this thing is so cool, the way they did this classified figure. I actually like to display it with the visor up because that face is just something else. It's pretty cool. Now, he's got a knife right here on his wrist that pops out, and he can use that. And that one slides right back in pretty easy. But it also interferes when you're trying to put that gun in. The one on the chest pops out and slides back in. I just thought this was freaking cool. I really, really love the Alley Viper figure. But the icing on the cake is the shield with that heads-up display on the inside. I think that's freaking cool. Now, he also comes with the original backpack I've got somewhere, and it was a solid piece that looked a lot like this. But in this update, I'm going to take this off here, and I won't put it back on because trying to do that live is sometimes a pain in the butt. But this freaking backpack has a grapple gun, and I wish that it had come with a little cord so that you could actually attach it to it, because this grapple gun, it actually comes off of the backpack. It fits on there really solid, so it takes a little bit of work to put it on and take it off, but then you can actually have the Alley Viper use it as a weapon and fire the grapple off, and it actually it comes right off. And if the music's too loud there, Dave, let me know. I like to have a little background music when I'm doing stuff. But like I said, I wish that it included a little cord so you could tie it together. That would have been awesome. The awesome edition. To make it even better. But this figure is awesome enough for me. I don't think they had to make it any better than this. And yeah, he's even got a little sidearm there that comes out. Well, the original, they didn't have even a sculpted sidearm. So I thought that was a great addition. A soldier's got to have a sidearm and a combat knife. And the Alley Viper definitely has all of that in spades. He's got his sidearm. He's got the two knives. He's got the shield. He's got the visor. And I always imagine, because it covers his eyes, there's a heads-up display in there too. But then on top of that, you've got on his backpack, you got all these grenades. I don't know if you really can see them there because it's black on black there. They could have painted that. That would have been cool. Hasbro sometimes hits it and sometimes they don't. But then you've got your grapple gun and your assault rifle. So it's so badass. They tricked this guy out. Okay, they really did. And then to have the original gun come with it, I thought that was just very, very cool. And yeah, it can be customized. I'm not very good at that kind of stuff, but yes, other collectors do. They definitely customize it. It's not really my thing to customize them. Love the pews, yeah. I can't help it. When I used to play, I used to make all the sound effects and all the voices. So it kind of takes us to the character of Alley Viper, and it's a troop builder. So you can have it be you. You can have it be somebody, anybody else. You can base it off just about any bad guy you want. We're going to start with a cartoon instead of the comic like I normally do, because he was only in one cartoon, and it was the 5-part miniseries Operation Dragonfire. And here's my copy of the DVD of that. Now, they included it with season 1 of the Geek series, which a lot of people don't really care for. I don't mind it. I love the opening theme song for it. Got to get Tough Yo Joe. So they even say that right at the top there. But the Alley Viper, he was so cool that I like the Crimson Guard a lot, and he started out in this miniseries as the Crimson Guard, and then he shows up as the Alley Viper and goes, I transferred to Alley Vipers. Like, Alley Vipers was so much cooler than Crimson Guard, and it's like, how can you be cooler than Cobra's Elite Trooper? The Alley Viper, that's how. Now, I only found one example of the original Marvel series with an Alley Viper on the cover, and it's pretty decent. Back there, you can see a lot of those Joes back there just strapping and ready to throw down. And you got the Alley Viper there. There's the second one down there ready to ambush them. This is a really cool comic. Of course, I have the issue afterward on the back with rock and roll. But this was part of the Benzene War, where a lot of Joes got killed, and some of the Alley Vipers had something to do with that. It was mostly the Saw Viper, but Alley Viper is really cool. So, as far as how they were viewed in the cartoon, not so much. Like I said, this was the only appearance they had of him. and they just basically said he was cooler than a Crimson Guard. And he was one of the lead Cobra characters throughout the whole thing. And when the Python Patrol showed up, he kind of got thrown to the wayside. But he was still a cool character. He was voiced by Jim Burns. If you're not familiar with that actor, he was in the Highlander TV series as Joe Dawson. He also was a blues singer. He's a really cool actor, really cool performer, and sang the theme song to the whole thing. G.I. Joe got to get tough, which is pretty cool too. That they incorporated him into that. Now, as far as the Hamaverse of G.I. Joe, Alley Viper was hardly in it. Larry Hama sees them all, the troopers, as Vipers and Cobra troopers, as all the same. Just different uniforms, different specialties. And I loved the show as a kid too, Dave. I'm going to put this up here. I love the pew pews. And yeah, loved the show as a kid. It's just, too bad that Sunbow stopped making the cartoon, because I really would have liked to see what they would have done with an Alley Viper. This figure is awesome. So that takes them to basically me, and in my head canon of how I view the Alley Viper. Now, my Alley Vipers are the penultimate Viper. You can't, once you progress up to an Alley Viper, that's it. You either stay an Alley Viper because that's the best you can do, or you progress onto like a mercenary or a dreadnought or something. It just depends on how you run your character in your own head. Now, for me, ain't nothing cooler than an Alley Viper as far as Cobra Trooper. So if they're able to attain this spot, it's pretty cool. Now, on the file card, it says that part of their training and that they have to succeed at before they can become an Alley Viper is they have to be dropped 50 feet out of a helicopter without a zip line. Hello, Sherry Vlog, welcome. And then they have to land on the ground, hit the ground, and start running. So, how they're supposed to do that, I don't know. It'd be a 50-foot drop. He's going to kill most people. Now, maybe it's something to do with their armor and stuff, but it's still pretty cool to have that be on the file card. So that is my take on Alley Viper. I appreciate Dave and Sherry. I both of you showing up. I do have a little bit more for you. I got a video I'm going to play here that has all the artwork and my promo video that the Tiger and I made before she went on vacation. Let's see, Sherry, I met through Rook and Wall, and Dave through Spine Ticks. So, you guys haven't checked out those channels. You know what, Dave? I'm pretty sure I made you a. I'm pretty sure I made you a moderator on here. Gave you a blue wrench. Sherry, I'll probably go back and watch this, and I'll do the same for you. So the next time you guys can drop a link to your channels if you want to. Now, what I got coming up this month, I've got 2 more Joe takes, and then I'm going to take a couple of weeks off for the Christmas holiday. But next week I've got it's going to be my Troop Builder series. It's going to continue, and next week is going to be Vipers. I've got a really cool box set of the Vipers and the Viper Officer, and I've got vintage ones to show you. I have a ton of vintage Vipers, so that should be fun to look at. I'll just break out the whole bag, and I got at least 10 of them, so that should be fun to look at. And then the week after that, I'm going to be looking at the Python Patrol. I've got a bunch of those vintage ones and the classified. I've got the first 3 classified, and if I can pick up some more between here and there, I'll show them off too, because they've got 2 new. They got actually quite a few newer Python Patrols out through Target. So I don't know if I'm going to have the funds to do it, but if I can, I will try to pick those up and include them in that. Otherwise, I'll just do the original 3. So that's where we're sitting at. And like I said, I'm going to take 2 weeks off after that for Christmas as far as Joe Takes is concerned. And then when I come back on the 6th, on that midnight on the 6th, I'm going to be looking at another Cobra troop wielder, the Cobra Officer, which is my ultimate favorite. So I'm bookending it with my favorite Viper and my favorite Cobra Trooper. So it should be pretty fun. And on that note, I'll shut the music off here. Thank you guys for being here. And I'm gonna play my ending video. And well, until next time, we'll see ya. Logan out.